Everybody always, I don't understand how anybody, from the conservative ring, the white ring, the right ring, political spectrum, always, shut up, please, I hate that noise, let me put it on, I can't forget, because I'm, using this social media phone. The conservative right ring don't want to take its own responsibility, okay? Now, we're in Trump season, right? And I never forget when they don't know Obama won his first term and in his second term. A lot of people, I don't know how they get views of coons, and I call them coons, who would embrace less. Okay, um, they came on TV and said, "Mama, we gonna get on welfare. We gonna get free phones." No, no, no. Voting for Obama got nothing to do with it. You should vote for Obama to get out of this mindset, right? Okay, but let's wind it back. I'm 38 years old. I never forget when George W. Bush won, and I was going through a lot of financial problems. It was, I'm sorry to say that, not only African American people who want to vote Democrat but live this old conservative lifestyle that I'm not all that conservative about, and I wish y'all would stop practicing that collective shit because I don't believe in that, and I'm not going to believe in that, okay, whether you like it or not, okay? You say things I can go my way, well, in my life, things shouldn't go in your way either, okay? So move on, okay? I'm an individualistic person. I'm not. So when I was having family issues, you understand that it's not my fault. My family, I'm sorry to say this, is the truth. They might not see the way, but they didn't want me to be independent from them. Okay. And when I turned 18, during the Clinton, I said Lincoln, Clinton season. Okay, back 20 years ago, the idea of me calling myself grown was like they didn't like to hear that, and I'm like, yes, by law you don't have, maybe you run a house, but the house is owned by the United States, okay? It's on the property, and based on law, I am adult. You cannot interfere in my rights unless you want to face legal charges. So a lot of people who conserve down here in the stupid dirty South, okay, because I'm from Texas, will harass me, which makes you want to call law on their asses, about staying with a family. Um, don't separate the family, and then try to bring religion into it. Like, okay, well then Matthew 10 talk about separate you know what I'm saying? And they would try to act like that my adulthood did not exist. And they forget that Galatians 4 or 5, one of those chapters talked about that I'm supposed to be, I'm no longer a slave of my parent anymore, okay? Y'all know the first time in Galatians, okay? So then to bring the Bible and curse on here. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of y'all are false teachers, twisting scripture just to be ruled, and a lot of folks understand when people control your life, they don't love you. What they can love is having you in their life controlling it, okay? So it's funny when Obama wins, all y'all using ghetto folks have me one drop of black blood, and because of pure black, I'm not pure African, I'm part European, part Caucasian, American as well, and I have Hispanic origin from the Creole side of the family, besides French, tracing my ancestry, real, and I embrace my multiracial background. I actually identify as multiracial, I don't identify as pure black, can't identify as pure white because I don't look white, or pure native, or even Hispanic, it's ethnicity, okay? So, I trace my roots. You gotta know where you came from, and I know where you're going and who you are. You don't let the society as races define you. Some of y'all need to stop doing that slave mentality mess. So when Obama won, and people of African descended people, because none of us are pure black, was on this video on Fox News saying that I'm glad he won for a welfare, which is stupid because I voted for Obama not to be on no damn welfare. Vote for Obama to live prestigious, okay? Have my own scheme on my own shit. And I ended up being on welfare, live in a Republican state. If I was in New York 19, like my friends from New York said, there are programs that help you get out. It's usually people who in New York City who on the street been on drugs. They used to work for stocks and work for legit jobs, corporate jobs, big out on drugs. But I don't do drugs. I'm drug free. The only drugs I do is legal drugs. You buy from Whole Food Store and GNC and okay, Vitamin World and all. Thank you, okay. Dollar Tree, when those little supplements you buy, yeah, that's what I take, okay? All right, and I also drink caffeine. It's not a drug, okay? That I love so much. So the truth of the matter is, a lot of y'all was blaming us millennials, not millennials, us. Why did I say millennials? Thank God I'm not millennial. Generation X and those under me, Generation Y and millennial people for being at home with parents or having no, excuse me, let's wind it back. Back in the 90s when a lot of us and those who are older than me who are Generation X, the baby boomers and those before them was trying to keep us in a controlled mindset. They didn't like the fact of being independent, being on your own, away from your parents. You depend on your own and being financially supportive on your own self and not have them involved. They couldn't hand their hand and cookie jar to control your life anymore. They forget that once you have a baby, the baby grows up, not stay in diapers. So, and then too, a lot of this comes from political stuff because a lot of us who grew up in the 90s were being liberal, like I am right now. A lot of us were reading about politics, racism, and diversity issues, and religion, and homophobia, all the other stuff, to aware because a lot of that stuffism caused a lot of problems in society. And I remember baby boomers I know didn't like that. So the Generation Y and Millennials Y, yeah, they are very open to racism, open to be subject to racism, and it's, you know what I'm saying. That's why you see that mess, like in hip hop. You see a lot of, I mean, my generation, I don't use the N word, but you had those who did. But you got those who live in, you know, the ghetto. Like in today, you see the Kodak Black, you know what I'm saying, all that mess. Okay, those are millennials. Me and millennials had parents who did not want, if they didn't real my generation, because if they did, they need to slap their face. But under baby generation, did not want to teach them about racism, gave them false narratives that the world was clean, and you know that when Barack Obama won, all this is very untrue. All this other stuff don't talk about racism. It was in the past, and if people have been to talk to their kids, that's why they all these little situations going on in you know in schools right now. That's them parents who didn't want to teach them mess, okay? Because I'm going to teach my kids what goes on in life, okay? So they want to be aware of, because I had to, it was a rude awakening in the 90s and 80s, okay? So, that's why. You always talk about this subject. America always talk about this subject. Trust me, I would love to leave that issue alone, okay? And not deal with it. Would that be a blessing? So, truth of the matter is, then you have people who come to me and tell me that I'm the cause of my problem. The only thing I'm guilty of listening to people who didn't want to follow my dream. That's the only thing I'm guilty of. Those people who control my life. Those are my family. Those who are burden people. I call them burden people. Toxic people. When I was doing my thing in El Paso, Texas, I doubted that I would not survive in El Paso, Texas. And that is a big mistake. When I came back to Houston, it was a voodoo curse. So it's funny when I look at videos from conservative people. Oh, entitlement. You got folks on welfare. I'm paying for their welfare, their public housing, blah, 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 blah. No, idiot. You and your stupid old school ways, when we was emancipating ourselves from that situation, you didn't want us to be financially supporting ourselves without your belief system. You did all you can, even to power, to stop a younger person in my generation having an emancipation out of your belief system. So you was harassing them, harassing us, I say, until us they were family that was toxic, that was abusive and mistreated, and you even ignore what they did to us. Remember, when they control us, they're in trouble, okay? It's not the other way around. We're not controlling them. We don't have, if they say they were getting on their nerves, we don't have control. They have their own place. The best thing is to separate. They did their own development, but they don't like the fact that separate because 9 out of 10 they know they're guilty of causing separation, all the abuse they did. So they got away with it when it was socially acceptable. When people started to be aware of it, and said, oh, you didn't like to hear that talk because you're losing your power. If you did not be narcissistic enough to stop trying to control your power with other people, you wouldn't have people be entitlement. You wouldn't have people having entitlement mentality at all. They'll be socially self-sufficient. At that point, they would not be in your face. But losing that power, some of y'all in power did all you could to deny jobs to people who qualify because you didn't want them so-called lose their family, aka lose their old culture that you didn't want to live in. Because this is called culture of power. You try to use religion, Jesus, it had nothing to do with Jesus. It's about your selfish behind want to have power in their life and act like you Jesus or God when you're not. So that's the whole reason why, folks, when you hear these Republican people or social conservative people who vote Democrat, okay, all the other crap, they whine about losing culture. They're talking about losing culture in power. They're not talking about losing culture with themselves. See, no one can make you change. If you're in control of themselves, then you can't be controlled by anybody else. But when you have people that you control and losing that power with them, that's what they're crying about and talking about they're about to die and all other stuff. They don't like the fact that they don't no longer be the slave master, no matter what color they are, okay? And that's what they whine about. When they whine about us, as we already said, even those Africans said, whine about us not being collective. They whine about losing control of you, of me, okay? Because collectivism to them is control. It was just slavery, controlling and having what they expect out of you, and you measure up to their expectation. They don't like the fact that they're losing their power. See, it's funny. They have their own mind. They don't need nobody to control anybody. You believe in something, you can hold on to your beliefs on your own. And those who believe in it, birds with the same feather flock together, right? The birds that don't say that, you don't never want to harass. That's like getting a weak person. If I'm fighting a team and we're in a war, I don't get people who don't want to be in my team. But we have people, when you have a loss of power, they just grab anyone and try to control, manipulate, even intimidate, and be abusive because they don't want to lose that power. That's all about. It's about losing their power. Ain't about them being, and they think they're entitled to be abused based on a title. If they are a parent or boss or religious leader, priest or minister or whatever, they're not worrying about God. They worry about themselves and act like they are. So I'm letting you know, y'all, that I get very irritated because they tell that someone like me want to be on welfare. No, we had to be on welfare. Because when we're trying to get jobs that we qualify for, and we don't have to worry about the system and live on our own, you was afraid of losing that power. Because you want your culture, ideology, and your belief system to run our lives when we don't. That's what it is. It's about mentality, the spiritual control, and the mind control. And if you don't have that mind control with them, they're not going to give you the job. They're not going to give you the opportunity. They're not going to give you the card. They're not going to give you the money. And they're not going to make sure you don't ever be self-sufficient. They'll try to break you down so bad, even so you ain't going to be anything, to keep you with their mindset. Keep them under their control. Let you them walk be their doormat. And that's the problem. The conservative people who preach that mess, even through churches, through the political platform, was using this mess to control the younger generation. So it was trying to keep them away from being self-sufficient, especially economically self-sufficient, to the point they would take care of themselves. They didn't like to see that the next generation would not practice what they preach. That's what they was afraid of. So now, when Obama came in, all the bullshit that Bush did, we had to still hold on to this. Because Obama complete, that's why he got gray hair, okay? A lot of people understand he tried to pass bills down, okay? But it was Republicans that we sometimes forget to vote against in election coming up, our local and city and state. That's what we need to worry about. That's the one who, you know what I'm saying, who not to veto his bills. You know what I'm saying? So now we in Trump America. And some of us still, every time try to get out of public housing or get out of welfare. I shouldn't have people, or as my mama or dad, harassing me and tell me what's wrong with being on the system. It's a God blessing. No, it's a temporary God blessing. But remember, it's other people's money. This is other people's money here. I prefer to have my own mess, my own house, my own car, and my own bills, and my own money to buy food. Not the system in my business. But when you want someone to be controlled and want you to pass their message to you and force it, you do whatever you can to take their money away from them and take their livelihood away from them and automatically conform to what they want you to be. So when they're making fun of Obama, it's by attacking Obama, yes, and by him being partially black as president. Also, it was trying to say that it's your fault, Negroes. You put yourself in a situation when it was not. Many of us came from broken homes. Not all of us. Some of us came from broken homes. And we were trying to be self-sufficient. It was the white folks sometimes, or the Hispanic folks, or either African-American people who was all in my business, all in our business, I say, who was telling us not to separate from the family when the people who caused the toxic behavior, who were control of the household, caused it on their own. And they didn't like the fact that leaving the situation break their heart, that they was feeling guilty. Whenever time they cry, it's about their guilt or get mad. They know they caused their problem. Remember, they was the stewards. How did this happen? You're the child. You can't bring the child. You brought the child of the world. You caused that problem. So now look at yourself in the mirror and take master your own hands, as in yourself, not someone else. Take responsibility with ground salt. And anyone, the stuff they did wrong, they want to face it. And now they faced it, and they don't want to. They're trying to ignore it. They try to use a false interpretation of the Bible. They do all they can, do all that, and actually, it will never erase the truth. The truth of the matter is, that you let people go, because one life to live on this earth. When they leave in this world next couple of years, who are going to take care of those millenniums or those Generation Y and X? When they don't have a place, they're told by their stewards and those in the community of now what color, or who butt in like a bunch of busybodies to stay at home or have contact with toxic family members. Instead of telling a toxic family member they're wrong, and then let them have all the criticism, they want to shame the victim and blame the victim for it. That's what they want to do, because their culture is dying. And trust me, when it's wrong, it should die. Being abusive is not love. Even the scriptures tell you that in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, love is not quick to rule over injury. If you're brooding over injury, or you're being rude or being quick to protect, it's not love at all. It's evil. Well, if they did not know what they're doing, they shouldn't have done it. Let them take the ground salt of them being disrespectful to you. It's about time y'all who are going through this situation. We blame our family, but sometimes we gotta take responsibility to get away from them and get away from other people who are just like them. And toxic, narcissistic people like these folks don't like the fact you're leaving the situation, because they know they hurt you already and they don't want to face that guilt. Let them cry and rot in their guilt, and you live your life by beating them with success. And these white people who are racist, who are conservative, who are making videos, you know that you went into different churches, black churches, and taught this mess. The whole reason why our community hold on to this conservative back in the 1950s mess is because you twist the scriptures and try to tell it was biblically correct when it was not. You knew it was coming from a slave master's narrative, aka personal interpretation of scripture. And we emancipate our abuse because we want a broken people to maintain its white supremacy. See, you shouldn't get mad about those on welfare because, you don't want to see someone like me or darker or even lighter than me who has black DNA be financially and economically successful than you. That was your crime. When you write about affirmative action, people are not going to hire someone based on their color, but they're trying to hire people who have the same qualification of a certain race to match their quota of to have a playing field of who all races represent that company. So nobody says, oh, it's a bunch of white people, I don't want to go over there, and I'm not going to be discriminating. You know what I'm saying? That type of mentality. And then two, you know who actually benefits from affirmative action? It's not myself. It's funny that I get the white part. I was checking black, white, and even right over the Hispanic part of my family. I never wanted to deny my heritage. I sometimes got denied a job. It was people, no matter what they look, even people who come from a parent who was not black, who had who was part black, who put black on their application, got the job. I should be one bitching for actually knock me ass out when I put the black, white neighbor, okay? But one thing about me, I don't lie for money unless I choose to. That's on my own conscience, but not for someone else. That's not for someone else. You know who actually benefits from affirmative action? It's white women. Yeah, white women. So why are you whining? And you see, you know what I'm saying? So you can't get mad. Okay? It's your wife, your mother, your sister who's being from that. And two, you don't like to see a brother to be independent. Let's go back to religion syndrome. You put the mother in charge of the house, not the father. You want to make him mentally weak and physically strong. While these brothers want to be hyper toxic masculine mess. So you can work their damn field. Okay? You caused that problem. That's why we have issues with our mothers and then later on our fathers. Not only they have issues with other sisters, and they have issues with us. And they want to marry you, and you want to miss. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. I didn't cause the Willis syndrome. I actually stopped the Willis syndrome by not buying into it. Yeah, I separate from those who are toxic, no matter what color they are. So I can heal like a flower in a garden. A flower doesn't heal around a bunch of weeds. Okay. One bad apple spoils another. Even it's best for the apple to get away from the spoiled apple, right? Okay. So don't use that argument. A lot of y'all was laughing at the mamas. Or you want to call them mothers. Sakata and your mama mammies who mistreat their sons like Taria Graham, and you laughing. Because it reminds you what happened in slavery when he used the big old fat mammy on plantation with beating her son in front of your ass and remind you what you used to do to him. That's what it was. I don't forget, you know, when I talk about racism, you don't want to talk about it because, you know, it hurts your white privilege guilt. And if you don't want someone like me on welfare, then stop denying my application. Stop denying me to put my application in the trash when you see me, because I don't have a, you know, Devontae name, okay? Nothing like that. Stop putting my sisters with Walla Mondrea, which is the name, but this is Shaniqua, LaQuisha in the application. Or my brothers, or include myself, whether they dark skin, light skin, whatever, or they wear natural hair, kinky hair, curly hair, perm, relaxed weave, whatever. Why don't you stop doing that mess? And we don't have to worry about welfare, because trust me, that was not my dream. I want my own stuff. I don't want you in my business, because the government, someone like you, want me in my business, how much money I'm making, and it was in my house. I can't arm myself in this get out. If you about to get us, and let me tell you, if you about to get us so bad, there's a bunch of components. I'm going all directions. First of all, it was your president, Reagan, and then Bush, who brought the cocaine there. Yes, it's also a two-way street. People, African-American, who are being stupid and dumb, getting involved in that mess. But also, too, let's get this straight. When we call laws, the laws don't want to come to the area. Sometimes the law is also cahoots with the drug dealer. They not only get paid by a drug dealer, they get arrested, but also they're helping selling dope in the hood. That goes on too. Sometimes I sleep with these old hood rats here too. That too goes on. That's because like it is. Also too, you deny opportunity for those who come from the redlining. And not only that, when we do come for jobs, you want to lie and do all these schemes to keep someone there. Because you don't want to see someone make 10 figures than you do. So you're worrying about entitlement. You don't want to cause that entitlement. Yo, don't get wrong. It's people in my community, and I basically call mammies and sambos and coons. I use all that to knock their ass out because I don't know love for them. They're not, and it's not on God. They don't love for you either, okay? When you contribute to my misery, it's hard for me to love you. It has to take Jesus to change me. And I said, Jesus, you none of y'all gods to keep y'all here ass out of my spirituality. I did say that. But it's your guilt. So you whine about what you cause. Me and y'all have control of the HR department, HR managers, and you decide who you want. You want to make laws like the employment at will law that keeps someone down. Yes, it's by me living in Texas, the employment at will law, and you're talking about working a cheap job. First of all, I know my history, so I'm not over here whining about a Hispanic immigrant taking that damn job. Because it's my own family, long time ago, have worked on a damn ass low paying positions. Mother can't fault me to have a high wage. And I ain't trying to work at no damn McDonald's. One thing, I'm not one of these brothers or sisters who take things less. If I do, it's on my own terms. But don't try to put nothing this less fortune in my life. You tell us to be pride and there, but don't you, okay, it's funny. You want to tell us to be thankful for what we got, and we rich by having something, not nothing. Excuse me. Once you sell, like Jesus said, sell your possessions, rich man. Sell all your housing and give it to the poor. So you should tell us to be at the poor state. Once you sell your riches, let's sell it. Give out your riches to people who are poor. You don't want to do that. You're greedy. And greedy is not a Christian act. You want to keep those who in it's low to make your little narcissistic behind feel great. And that's what happened in that entitlement mentality. And the only person that is entitlement is someone like you with money. That's what I call entitlement. Because I love to have that. I don't want to be poor. Never in my life I saw poor in my future. Okay? Never want to be. That's not my job. But it was the people who want me to see successful, who say they love me when they don't love. They just love to use me, mistreat me, and abuse me, which is not love at all. They want to see me poor, to keep me under their power structure. The question is to you. If you will stop denying folks jobs so they can be self-sufficient, stop treating people like shit on a job so you can feel empowered by being abusive on a job, and stop allowing it to happen, making excuses. If I shouldn't talk to you that way, you should not be able to talk to me that way, because at the end of the day, we're both human. Once you go deal with a person who teach you like shit, if you believe in being treated like shit, let me have a position of authority and let me treat you like shit, like you was not even human. You be crying like a bitch. So the same thing, I cry like a bitch when it didn't happen to me. If you do it, I do it too. At the end of the day, we all bleed red. We're human. That's the whole reason why. See, you can handle a business without being ratchet, aka abusive. If you can't do that, I guess you're not even, you don't have a true human mindset. You're like a beast, an animal, a wild monkey, or an albino monkey that has no sense, a cave monkey. You act like an animal, a brute on a job. You shouldn't. And one thing I understand how you can talk about Africans and Hispanic people, or anybody of color, are brutes and the savages. But who gets red in the face, act a fool, yelling, berating, cursing? It's a lot of some of you white dudes do that and love or act arrogant and think you better than somebody, which is not Christ-like or human-like. It's animalistic. So you want to say white superior, at least speak the terms of superiority, not inferiority and calling it superior, if you know what I mean. So that's the whole reason why. Take and grab something that you take part of that scandal of keeping those with the entire movement, entitlement mentality, and those your Negro slave, and then one job of black slaves, okay, who sit here defend your rhetoric, and those who like it as well. You cotton picking, strawberry picking people, I call them. Because they have no self-worth to sit here and defend this mess. I have integrity. That's why I don't let it happen to me. So when you make videos about entitlement and try to blame Obama, go back a couple years ago before Obama came off. It was Bush people, it was Republicans, time of the family divided. No, your abusive tactics cause division in the family. It takes a true human to walk away unless you want that human to run and knock you side of the face, or commit suicide, or fail to work, whatever. Your power structure of how to raise a family, how to just run a business, cause a lot of shit. And you're trying to use excuse to not feel the guilt. That's what it is. Whatever you believe in, keep that mess in your life. And those who don't believe it, like myself, keep it out of ours. We're not looking for your beliefs.